Gregory awoke, feeling his chest tighten. Looking down, he saw Solia wriggling and almost tearful, as she seemed to be in a nightmare. Solia pulled Gregory tighter to her, which cut off his breathing a little bit more. Not wanting to see how strong Solia can constrict him, he began to speak.
Solia, you're clutching my lips!
Solia seemed to not hear Gregory as her nightmare seemed to worsen. With little options left, Gregory violently shook Solia awake. Ah! Oh, sorry Gregory, I didn't realise I was, hugging you. It's fine, I didn't realise you were that strong though. Gregory started rubbing his ribcage in pain.
Are you two doing the mating ritual?
Gregory and Solia jumped up in surprise upon seeing Arnold at the other end of the room. Arnold, what are you doing in here? How long have you been stood there?
I have been banished here by the naked fox lady. It has currently been an hour since I've been last in her room.
Jacob's gone. Do you happen to see where he went?
He's currently with the naked fox lady. He went in about 30 minutes ago. You two can continue with your courting ceremony. I'll watch for any approaching dangers.
We weren't doing that! I suppose we should get dressed. Meanwhile, in Naby's room, Jacob and her were debating on how long to stay in Brightholme. We've been travelling for so long, Jacob. These three need rest.
As much as I'd agree with that, we don't know how long this Saltash is going to be in Autumn Hills. If we really want to help these three, we need to go after them now, rather than going on some wild goose chase. Besides, I know routes that can get us there in one day.
Oh, I suppose you're right. We'll get these three ready and we'll head off as soon as possible. Later in the morning, after breakfast, Jacob, Nabu, Solia and Gregory were helping sort out the cart, with Arnold just stood there, looking antsy.
Is there anything I can do? I'm not just a bodyguard, I'm a general servant as well.
Jacob tosses Arnold a bag of coin.
Go make yourself useful by getting us a potion of healing and a potion of slow cure. Oh, and make sure you stay out of trouble. I don't want to be having to dragging your buttocks out of the jail cell.
Arnold marched down the bustling market street, gathering a few wary glances towards his direction, but nothing more. It didn't take him very long to find a slow cure, but he was struggling to find a potion of healing. Going down the deeper ends of the marketplace, he finally found one, and just as he was turning around, he saw a figure which he thought he recognised at one of the market stalls. He decided to head down to see who he was.
Excuse me, wrinkly old man, have we met before?
Ashley Barebane raised his head towards Arnold with a beaming smile.
No, I don't think we met, but you might have heard of me. I'm the great Ashley Barebane.
If Arnold's brows could have furrowed, they would have.
I somewhat recall you. However, I do not know where from. My memory is damaged.
Oh, how awful. Maybe I could clear up some of my wares.
Ashley reaches into his pocket and pulls out a red pepper.
I think you would like this one very much. It'll cost you about, 100 crowns?
Arnold looked down at the pepper, unimpressed.
That looks unimpressive. Plus, I'm only here to get potions for my allies. This bag of coin isn't mine.
Oh, it's not about how impressive it looks, it's how you use it, you see. Maybe I could interest you in your group with one of my free trinkets. Just for you.
Ashley heads out to the back of his wagon, where he could be heard banging around and apologising profusely to his pig.
Don't worry, Clarence, I'll make it up to you later.
Ashley reapproaches Arnold, holding up a white ring which looks like it's made of quartz. Arnold regards the ring, still looking unimpressed.
I'm not really looking for jewellery.
Ashley puts his finger onto Arnold's teeth, where his lips would be.
No, this is not just any jewellery. This is magic jewellery.
This seems to pique Arnold's interest.
Magic? What does it do?
Well, you see, You put this ring on, and you and your belongings will become really hard to find. It's like going poof and go invisible. Any cost to you is to bring a group to my store for potential business.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I should.
Oh, come on, where's your sense of adventure? Besides, it could be really useful for you. And anyways, I'm giving this away for free as long as you bring your friends here. No other costs.
Okay, sounds logical.
Ashley hands the ring to Arnold, telling him how to use it. He only has to put it on his finger.
Keep in mind, it's a one-use item, by the way. So don't blow your load all at once.
Arnold with the ring leaves Ashley. Unsure if he did the right thing, he pockets it to keep it hidden from the others for now. A little while later, it doesn't take long for him to meet back with the group, and they all head off to Autumn Hills.
What kind of route is this?
Naby was sat in the front of the cart with Jacob, complaining about the various biting bugs and branches hitting her in the face as they're travelling through the small, watery marsh.
Oh, stop your baby whining. Besides, aren't you an elf? I thought elves love nature.
Naby resists the urge to smack Jacob at the back of the head.
The point still stands, Jacob. Where the hell are we? What kind of shortcut is this?
Jacob allows himself to let out a small chuckle.
Ah, you see, Nabu, this shortcut leads to our shortcut. It leads to a long natural path that no one uses. That is what will take us only one day to get to Autumn Hills. Don't you worry your pretty little face. We'll be out of this marsh soon.
Inside the canvas hood of the cart, Gregory can be seen clenching down on his canine nose and starting to pull up the neck of his clothes to cover it even more.
Why are you covering your face, flesh sack? You don't look that ugly.
Gregory replies to Arnold with a glare.
In case you haven't noticed, Arnold, I've got a dog's nose. It stinks.
Solia peeks ahead through the front of the cart. How long until we're out of the marsh? It smells even from my nose. I can't imagine what it must be like for poor Gregory. Jacob points to a distant tree line.
The exit is just between those two trees, where the arched branches are.
True to Jacob's word, they exited the marsh and began headed down the long, natural path. It wasn't even 10 minutes in, however, before something alarmed Jacob.
Nabu, did you see what I just saw?
Naby gives a firm nod.
You three, can you come out front quickly?
Solia, Gregory and Arnold all peeked their heads through, comedically at the same time. The comedy soon draining upon seeing Jacob's face.
I don't mean to alarm you lot, but we think we saw a hellcraw. It could mean that it's someone's familiar. And if that's the case, we're being followed. I want everyone's heads on a swivel. Got it?
After being briefed, Gregory and Solia went to the back of the cart to look at the road behind them, with Arnold climbing on top of the canvas roof with his head literally on a swivel, and scanning the surroundings. Soon after, far behind them, the sound of a horn could be heard, along with the sound of hooves, thunderous, slowly approaching.
Ambush! Hold on to something, all of ya!
With a snap, Jacob lashed the reins on his horses, speeding up the cart and going to a quickened pace.
Nabu, get up there with the hunting bow and shoot anyone who comes close. Give all your crossbow bolts to Arnold, so he can use his arm launcher thingy.
As Naby prepared with the hunting bow and got onto the roof, two horses bearing demon riders armed with crossbow bolts managed to catch up to the cart. Just as Naby handed Arnold the crossbow bolts, the demons let loose their own ordnance towards them. Arnold quickly bent Naby down over his knee to protect her with his metal body as crossbow bolts harmlessly pinged off of him, after which Naby and Arnold separated, reloaded and fired back, Naby pinging one of the crossbow users right in the forehead, and Arnold another crossbow user in the eye.
Theodore! Ah!
One of the demonic riders exclaimed as both of them leaped off their horses and clawed their way onto the canvas roof of the cart, as their ranged-oriented allies had perished. At the same time, more horses with crossbow users approached the group's cart, with a wagon behind them containing a cage. and much more demons. The demonic horses that recently lost his riders heads back to the wagon, gets resaddled and approaches the cart again. After Navy and Arnold shoot off the demonic intruders attached to their cart, Navy attempts to snipe one of the 4 hell horses pulling the wagon. However, right before the arrow hits home, it is burned up by erupting fire, a couple of feet in front of the horses. Navy, taking a closer look at the wagon, notices one of the demonic figures has his arms raised in the air, chanting different hellish sermons. Realising there's a sorcerer in their midst, Navy turns to Arnold.
Hold them off as best you can, Arnold. I want to get rid of their magic. Aim for the other horses so we don't get overwhelmed.
Arnold complies by shooting the rest of his 5 crossbow bolts, putting down 2 horses with carefully placed shots. However, the ongoing hail of fire pauses as he stops to reload the next 6. During his pause, it allows one of the hellish crossbowmen to sneak in a shot at Navy, who was trying to climb inside the front of the cart, landing on her arm. With a yelp, she almost falls into the road, however catches herself on a plank of wood that's attached to their cart.
Nebula!
Jacob reaches out of his hand and grabs Navy by the collar, yanking her back next to him in the driver's seat.
Nebula, you good?
Fine.
Was all Navy could say before she slumps into the driver's seat.
Ah! Blasted poison! Gregory, I'm gonna need that healing potion on the double!
As Gregory was looking for the healing potion amidst the chaos, Solo caught a glimpse of the wagon, and particularly the cage, that was very close to the group's cart. With horrid flashbacks and general panic flooding through her mind, she took action, outstretching her arms towards the wagon, face contorting and her light dimming with the effort. A slowly growing, harsh ball of light emanated from her hands. Gregory, turning around, was awestruck for a brief second as this light launched itself from her hands and impacted into horses and wagon of the demonic forces. Like a wrecking ball, the wagon fell onto itself, cascading like a tsunami of wood, metal and pieces of bone, until resembling a sad heap of rubble that quickly grew distance away from their cart. Solia breathed heavily, swaying from side to side, before she fainted, only feeling Gregory's arms catch her before she lost consciousness.